Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel again. We're at our little secondary mating nuke area that is also turned into our swarm area where we've caught our swarms and we've put them over here. These are our 2 swarms. But before I go any further, one of our viewers, Stephanie, is always making suggestions, and if we don't take them, we find out about it later. Just joking, Steph. Today is May 8th. We'll try our best to make sure we put the date or at least a rough time period on there so people know what time of year we're talking about.
I'm trying to do that in the description. So
okay.
When you go to the description, we might not say it in the video, but the beginning part of the description normally says the month and the year. I don't clarify the week, but normally, you know, try to at least let you know when we're doing certain things if possible.
And again, remember this is based on the southeast timeline, so if you're up north you're going to be a little bit further behind. Obviously if you're farther south you're going to be ahead of us, but just kind of gives particularly new beekeepers some reference, which is one thing that helped us a lot early on. So this is our first swarm we caught. Basically all we're going to do is we're going to go in here, see how she's doing. As you can tell, we've put some supers on here. Couldn't remember if it was a feeder or a super. We're just going to see how they're doing. If we see the queen, great. We still haven't, the times I've been in here, still haven't been able to find her. She didn't like mid-bang, especially noises like that. So we're going to see if we can find the queen, because we don't know if this actually is a marked queen that came from us or if it's somebody else's swarm. So who knows? We'll figure that out, maybe. If not, as long as we know she's healthy and doing good, we'll keep moving on. Yeah.
Oh, there she is. If you hear a dog barking, that's my dog Lilo. I hear you. I know.
Okay, so right now, again, we had 3 frames up here to kind of draw them up, see if they'll start building some of this stuff out. This is an older frame that she's having fun back there in the background.
Stop.
Hopefully you can't hear her too much. If so, oh well. That's Lilo.
She wants to be out here with us.
So we're just trying to see if they're building this out. That way maybe we can manipulate some frames here and get them to build out other ones. This is a new frame of foundation that they're building out and adding nectar to it. That's an older one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these over here and we'll just pull those down. We'll put this one here. So we're just kind of checkerboarding this a little bit. I wanted to show you, since I'm using these as honey supers, as an 8-frame box, what has been proven. One problem I see already, but we'll figure that out. If you put 7 frames in an 8-frame box for your honey super, or 9 frames in a 10-frame box, they will build out the sides more, and you actually end up with more honey, in this case, with 7 frames in here rather than 8 frames.
Because they make thicker comb, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
She's laying up here.
Yes, she is.
Unless this is a frame. I may have pulled this up with brood on it. Yeah, you can pull that off.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're wanting to build some wonky comb up here. See how wide that is? Where I made the mistake here is I put a frame next to it that didn't have any comb. So they'll build out to that frame, which means they probably won't build this other one out. So I'm going to pull this other one over next to it. And sometimes you end up getting wonky comb on the other frame that's just foundation because they got too much room. But if they already have comb over there, usually they won't. Sometimes they'll adhere the 2 combs together and you got an ugly mess. I actually have a plastic tool that I keep forgetting to bring out that'll space these the way they need to be for 7 frames. I'm going to throw this back on here. Actually, when we put this back together, I'm probably going to put a shim in here that has a opening on it. So bees up here don't have to come all the way through. They can come in the middle, and it may help them build quicker. So that box had 3 frames of brood. 3 frames of bees, I'm sorry. This one, basically every frame has bees on it. The outside a little weaker, but as far as out here, but they're putting nectar in here. They're building out. This is all brand new. Every single frame that we have in here that's new comb was new foundation a few weeks ago, which I never did mark the date. 4/25. I try and mark my frames when I install them when they're first being used. That way, like this one's probably last year, so I'm just going to put a wild date on it of 3/24. That way you know how old that frame is, so you're not guessing based on what it looks like. Over time, you want to replace your frames.
Good, though.
Yeah, so you're looking for eggs and or nectar.
This is all nectar.
Okay. This one they may be saving for her. They're not putting any nectar. Well, they're putting a little nectar up along the top, but as many of you know,
That's full of brood.
Lots of times what they do is they'll make what they call that rainbow look. They'll do nectar here, sometimes they'll do pollen here, and they'll save a section for the brood. It almost looks like that's what they're doing here.
Next one is very nice.
But it's still that inquisitive thing. Okay, we know she's doing something. Yeah, that's a full frame of brood. So we need to look on there and see if she's there. I don't think she will be since it's so full, but just check both sides. You could be looking for a green dot queen or a no dot queen.
Beautiful though.
So she's obviously been up there. There's larvae all through this one, and there's eggs.
Very busy.
Yeah, the one good thing about swarm hives, and both these proved it right off the bat, is when they swarm, they bring resources with them. I'll let you get this one. They bring resources with them. Their main goal is to get comb build out so the queen can get laying. See if you see eggs down in there. See, they're doing that same thing. They're making that rainbow effect. There's a better example of that rainbow effect. They're letting her move up in here. So when they get in that...
Yes, there's eggs.
Okay. When they get in that new hive, they may need to be looking for her on that one.
Okay.
When they get in that new swarm hive, they're going to start building out comb, and both these hives prove that. Literally, I put 5 frames in here, and I had to immediately put another box on top because they had everything I had in the swarm box was already out there. So I'm going to leave this out here.
Sorry, that's in your face.
Okay, once again, you can see we have 7 frames in here. Technically, this is a brood box at this point. We're still going to keep this because we're trying to get as much honey as we can. We're still going to probably take some honey off this at some point. We'll just do it from the outside. We won't mess with the inside part, and then we'll add other frames. And at some point, we'll stop doing that on some of these. Part of our main goal of these swarm hives has been to get them to build out comb for us. So we're ahead of the game because they build it out so quickly. Comb is king, and when you got comb, they don't waste time building out. When you put that in there, they start utilizing it. So they don't have to waste energy building out comb on there. So when you got it in store somewhere, I've got a few left in the freezer, you get it out there, they can start using it instead of having to build it, which I already said. So we're trying to use these swarm hives for that, and our young nukes. A lot of bridge comb on this one. We'll just try and get rid of some of that. I mean, we can probably pull them out and get it easier. Trying to clean up a little bit of this so they don't get too crazy, but they're not doing bad. Be careful taking out this first one, particularly this time of year when they're building a lot of bridge comb.
Honey, dripping. Wow.
When they're building a lot of bridge comb, it'll scrape.
There is. She could be on there.
This comb that they build on the side, I got it. See, this is a perfect example of what a nice hive will do on this type of frame. You see how they got honey, they got in the middle, if you can see it, there's pollen, and then down at the bottom is all this brood. So when you got that comb on the side like this, as you're pulling that frame out, if you're not careful, you're going to roll bees. It's going to cut into your honey, brood, whatever's over here. Well, it's not a complete disaster unless your queen happens to be over there right at that particular moment. Then it is a disaster, and then you got to deal with that. So we try and keep these edges clean as much as we can. I mean, sometimes we don't. Yeah, we're just going to check quick into this just a little bit to see what's going on. I think we broke it loose enough. I can probably grab it. I may take one of these frames in one of our weaker hives. I may actually put a frame of this in there.
Yeah, I would.
We are going to try and have one put out about the night cot we tried. You'll just have to see it to see what happened. But I'm going to be doing that again here soon. And this would actually maybe be a good candidate for our starter finisher hive with the many bees that are in here. Let's see the eggs. So this one looks like this frame was full of brood like those other ones. They're emerging. 2 more on this and be done. And
Y'all are all
yeah,
in my
go ahead.
space.
I have had a tendency to get lazy on the smoker going into the end of last year and this year, but I'm finding out I really need to get back on that. Especially since we're over there trying to teach a little bit to the Shiloh farm over there at Lisa and Andy's.
Get rid of that.
Yeah, and I really need to make sure we're
Safe as possible.
well, best practices, I guess is the best way to put it. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. We know the queen's in here, but you know us smaller beekeepers like to see our bees, our queens. We don't like the commercial guys or even some of the sideliners. Yep, another full frame. See, my wife said I needed Kira out here to help me find queens, and she's not helping me. I see some eggs in here. As much as I want to check these 2, only because if I need to flip these frames around. There are times you'll find the queen on the outside. It's
Has happened.
funny.
That has brood on it too.
This has a lot of young brood. I hope she wasn't on there when that thing rolled. A lot of cap brood on this. That one's pretty much all honey. I'm gonna leave that. There she is.
Oh yeah, she's not marked, Dad.
I know. Okay, go ahead. You got the frame?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna run to the other side. Just keep an eye on her.
Yep, right here.
There she goes, right there. She's a mover. Okay, so all that does is prove we've got an unmarked queen. Doesn't mean this hive wasn't our swarm. It means either they replaced her or came from somewhere else, or she could even been a virgin when she came. Get upside down. She ain't happy, that's for sure.
I'm busy
I should actually use it.
laying eggs. Leave me alone.
Okay, we're gonna let her dry a second. Next to the last frame after all that. Trying to dry her off. Okay, we're gonna let you go.
There she goes.
And down she goes. Now we got these frames pretty much together. I'm just gonna give them a little nudge so we have as much room as possible so we can put this other frame back in there.
Go down in your home.
Probably should have moved these frames of brood into the middle, but
Three-step.
I'll get on it.
Go out that way?
They will. You got to be on that adventure of us checking the swarm. That was exciting. We got to see the queen. She's definitely laying. We now have a plan for this box, maybe taking some of this brood and helping out some of these weaker hives that are in here since she's got so much down there. They're obviously going to grow in here. This hive has potential to make a lot of honey based on what they're doing. We're also going to try and maybe use it as the night cot finisher and starter hive. Just saw a new method on that, so we may try and do that to see if, since I got so much young brood in there and stuff, we'll see how that goes. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'm gonna go wash this honey off my hands, get rid of this wax, which we'll be showing you about a wax melter here soon that we bought, solar wax melter. Hope you have a bee blessed day. Take care. Bye bye.